Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's an honor to be here, and welcome to, this is really the new Rose Garden, how beautiful it is, with the white stone that matches the White House. This used to be grass, and it was always wet. You know, the White House is built on a wetland, and when you're built on a wetland, the grass is wet all the time. If it didn't rain for 5 days, it was very wet. And we had a lot of very upset women. They'd stand in there with the high heels, and they'd just go down like quicksand. And that took place for about 150 years. And I decided to do something about it. And this has become an incredible place for dining and for news conferences and for events like this. And this is a very special event because it's the Dodgers, and they're the world champions. And Mark, this is the first time we've ever used the new Rose Garden. You see right up there, the Rose Garden. I put that up. Looks very nice. This is not, do you think Biden would do that? I don't think so. I don't think Biden would do it. And we created the Presidential Walk of Fame. That wall for 150 years had absolutely nothing on it. And it always used to amaze me. I said, what are we going to put on that wall? Now, I could put some of the great Dodgers on the wall, but I figured maybe it's more appropriate that we put the presidents. So it's been quite something. We did from Washington to Trump, and people love it. And they study the plaques. And generally speaking, I was very nice to the people up there. A couple of them probably not as nice as I could have been. But I just want to say that we're delighted to host the 2025 World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Amazing. And for the first time in the proud history of this famous franchise, you are repeat champions. I didn't know that. That's the first time, huh? Well, great ownership, great management. And so I'm thrilled to say welcome back to the White House. And maybe I'll see you again next year, I hope. But it's truly a great, when you talk about a brand, it's one of the great brands anywhere in the world, no matter where you go. The Dodgers is one of the great brands, and certainly it's been enhanced as long as these two gentlemen were up here and were with us. I want to thank Dodgers owner and my friend Chairman Mark Walter for being here. Thank you, Mark. Along with President Stan Kasten and manager Dave Roberts. That's a hell of a manager. What a manager. And also here we have some of their fans. They're big celebrities for the most part themselves, but they're fans. Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. And by the way, prices are going down very substantially. Thank you, Brooke. We got them down. We inherited the highest prices in history, and we're getting them down very quickly. Thank you, Brooke. Secretary of Health and Human Services. He wasn't supposed to be here, but he's a big Dodger fan. Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. Thank you, Bobby. And his incredible wife. Thank you. Are you a big fan of the Dodgers? I didn't know that. Secretary of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne Mullen. Mark Wayne, thank you. Look at the hat. Don't put that hat on in Oklahoma, please, Mark. They won't be too happy. Acting Director of the National Intelligence, Bill Pulte. Bill, thank you. Good job you're doing. U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of Korea, Michelle Steele. Thank you very much. Thank you. And many representatives and some of our wonderful senators and congressmen, I want to thank you all for being here. Also Vince Fong and Young Kim. Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. A lot of politicians. I'm not going to introduce the politicians. We'll be here all day. The 2025 Dodger season was one for the record books in 150 years of Major League Baseball. No player has ever earned more than one unanimous league MVP except for an international legend named Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani. That's him. He's amazing. He's amazing. Everybody loves him. Last year, Shohei did what was previously unthinkable. Nobody thought it was possible. He collected his third straight unanimous league MVP with a franchise record, 55 home runs. And if you would have told me you can be the best pitcher and the best hitter at the same time, you know, Babe Ruth was pretty close to that. They drafted Babe Ruth. He was 19 years old. I know something about baseball. Babe was 19 years old. They considered it the worst trade in the history of sports. I would say Babe will always take that. He was 19, and they got a 36-year-old third baseman and $100,000. So I would rate that pretty bad. They drafted him as a pitcher, but he did something very unusual. He led the league in home runs as a pitcher. That one you have to do. He's pretty close to doing it, I think. I think you're pretty close to doing it. But Babe did something that nobody, and so they made that trade, and that goes down as the worst trade in the history of baseball. And but the Babe was the Babe, right? You know the second worst trade in history, just out of curiosity? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the entire Los Angeles Lakers team. Okay? They traded the whole team to Milwaukee, and they won plenty of championships with Kareem. But this group started their title defense with 9 pitchers injured before the first fastball was ever thrown. They played their opening game in Tokyo and traveled more than 2,000 miles. It's more than any team has ever traveled. In fact, from the first pitch to the final out, they endured and triumphed through the longest season of any team in the history of Major League Baseball, 229 days. I didn't know that. Did you know that? That's a pretty crazy fact. I mean, it's not the kind of fact you think about. What is it going to be, a half a day longer or something? I don't know. That's a different kind of a fact, Mark, than I ever heard of, but that's what they give me to read, so what can I tell you? 220, the longest season ever? I don't know what the hell that means. In the postseason, the Dodgers exploded with 9 wins in their first 10 games. Unbeatable. In the National League Championship Series against the Brewers, the brilliant Dodgers pitching rotation of Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei, and of course, Yoshi Yamamoto combined for a record-setting ERA of just .63. In other words, if you get 1 run, you're in good shape. That's amazing pitching. And by the way, I just asked Dave, I said, how are you doing this year? You know, I've been a little busy with Iran and some other things, so if I know too much, you wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be doing a good job if I know too much. But I said, how are you doing? He said, we have the best record in baseball, right? So far, right?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Might see you back next year, I hope. So, not starting rotation, and think no starting rotation has ever done anything better or anything even comparable to the championship series in the history of the sport, with some great pitchers, some of the greatest pitchers ever. In Game 2 of the same series, superstar Max Muncy hit his 14th postseason home run. Where's Max?
Right there.
Come on, Max. Guy's a winner. They're all winners. His 14th postseason home, that's a lot of home runs in the postseason. That's, breaking the all-time Dodger record. Who's second? Who did you break there, Max? Who was second? Pretty good player, right? I'll let you know later. I'll let you.
He's not done yet.
I'll figure it out. He's got a long way to go too. Then the decisive Game 4, Shohei pitched a 6-inning shutout, struck out 10 batters, and on the other side of the plate hit an unbelievable 3 home runs. In fact, I was watching the game, and before the announcer said it, he said that might be the greatest game ever played. The guy pitched 6 unbelievable innings and got 3 home runs, won the game. His Herculean effort sealed the National League pennant and lifted the Dodgers to the World Series championship. Think of it. You have a man on the team who pitched perfectly and hit 3 home runs, I think in a single. And I said to myself, that's the greatest game ever played by one person, because you did the pitching and the hitting. And he's not finished yet also, right? He's not finished. He's got a lot of them left. That World Series against the Toronto Blue Jays proved to be among the most thrilling championships in the history of the sport. I watched it because I was having a little bet with the Prime Minister of Canada. I had a little bet. I was not feeling so good for a little while. It wasn't looking so good, neither were you. After splitting the first 2 games, Game 3 went to extra innings, forcing this pitching rotation to grind through some incredibly tough spots. In the top of the 12th, it went a long time. Legend Clayton Kershaw. Where's Clayton? I want to see.
Winner.
He's a winner. You talk about a winner. Fantastic. Look at that guy. I watched him beat a lot of our teams that were supposed to do well. They didn't do too well against him. And he's still pitching well, I'll bet, right?
Well, he's spending time with the family now, sir.
Well, it's called, yeah. But it is called ultimately talent, right?
Yes.
Would you say talent is the whole ball game? You could pitch right now. If they needed you, you'd be out there, right? No? And he's smart. Anyway, Clayton took the mound for his last time in Dodger Blue, and with the final pitch of his epic career, and it was an epic career, he got this team out of a bases-loaded jam. That was really something. They picked the right person. The rest of the bullpen did not allow a single run, including the very last addition to the roster, reliever Will Klein. Where's Will Klein, Clayton? Where is Will Klein? Hi, Will. He's a big guy, too. Were you nervous? He was a little nervous. That's great. Thank you, Will. He pitched 4 scoreless innings, that's right, and sent the game to the record-tying 18th inning at almost 3 a.m. on the East Coast, and I actually stayed up. I was watching it. I was watching that game. I said, will this game ever end? It was a long one, but it was amazing, actually. I thought it was a game that you were going to lose about 4 or 5 times, and you ended up winning. Luck is okay, too, right?
Luck is okay.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
okay. Well, but with talent, you get a lot of luck. In the bottom of the 18th, with a chance to end the game, who else would you want at the plate other than Freddie Freeman? I love Freddie Freeman. Where's Freddie?